This video explains how the SolBox Smart Move platform can plan, route, and dispatch orders in less than 10 clicks. So the first way to do the planning would be to import orders via either a spreadsheet or any e-commerce or ERP system. And once the orders have been imported, we can then see they've been positioned on a map for the selected day. Each order has information regarding the customer, the location, any contact information to notify the customer of their planned ETA, when the driver is en route to track the driver, as well as any proof of delivery. We also have a date and a time window, as well as a service time based on the capacity of that order or for that customer's predefined service time, any third-party payer that might be involved, and any costs associated with the order. By opening the order, we can make changes as well as view the items. The quickest way to plan orders is to actually group them based on a manual allocating process. This step is manual, but gives the scheduler the ability to plan and drag and drop orders to create their run. There's also the option to select a driver and a vehicle at this point, and the run is then created. At the moment, it is not adhering to time windows or the shortest amount of distance that the run should take. So the option to optimize the route allows the scheduler to reduce the amount of kilometers and ensure that the time constraints are met for each order. As we can see here, each order on this list here has a certain time window, and the system has generated the estimated time for arrival for this run, adhering to the time windows and the driving time and kilometers, as well as the service time on each order. The system has also adhered to the capacity of cartons on each order and the max carton capacity of this vehicle that was selected, totaling 126, meaning there is still space to add more orders. If the scheduler is happy with this run, they can dispatch it straight to the driver app. Alternatively, they can just hit save, and the run would then create an optimized run ready to be dispatched. There is also the option to add and remove orders to this run if required, and it will flag if the time window is not going to be met. Re-optimizing and dispatch can also be done in real time. Another way to plan the orders that have been predefined for this day is to press Allocate All. Allocate All will pull through all the orders that have been selected on the map, and this option to allocate through an auto process. The system will allow the drivers and the vehicles to be selected, as well as their working hours. The system knows which drivers are working on the given day the orders have been selected. If we would like to remove any drivers, we can untick them. We can also change what time the driver starts their shift or finishes their shift. If the driver is not available, the box will remain unticked. If the driver has got a different start and finish location preset, this item will be ticked or unticked. We can also drive the optimization based on where the vehicles or drivers are currently located. The system will plan and optimize the run, and we can allow the system to think for 30 seconds to do so. What we can now see is the optimization has taken place, and the system has created the runs, adhering to the time and locations. And what we can see, the orders have also been dropped, that the driver has not got time to get to these orders and back in time based on their working hours or the driver's vehicle capacity. The system has also created a similar export, which takes into consideration the driver's working hours and the vehicle capacity, and it's loaded the vehicle up with its capacity based on adhering to the driver's working hours and ensuring that the customer's time windows are being met and drivers having appropriate breaks. What we can see here is a breakdown of what the system has calculated. The option to make changes is still available, but this would provide 80% of what the driver could conduct on his day. We can see here that the runs that have been created include these orders, and these orders that have been dropped because they're out of the area would require another manifest to be selected, which we can add and remove if required. The runs that have been created have been designed to adhere to the driver's working hours and the least amount of kilometers where possible. There are different constraints and levers to play with based on the requirements. Once the runs have been created, there is an option to dispatch to the driver as well as notify the customer of the planned arrival time. So what we can see is all of these runs have been created, and the option to select all, notify the customer via email or SMS of their planned delivery time window. What the customer will receive is the time window that's been selected as the predefined time that the driver will arrive on site. The link to the customer will look something like this. The option to have the proof of delivery of the items on the proof of delivery are available as well. Once you're happy to dispatch the driver, send to the vehicle, and the driver app will receive the orders. The driver app looks something like this. Once the driver logs in with his username and password, they can then select the manifest and begin completing the jobs. The driver will view their orders and the app works completely offline. We can see here that there's a delivery and there's a pickup and then a service job. Once the driver goes into the job and starts, we can see the information associated with this delivery. The driver can then click Start Navigation, which will pull up any mapping service that's required, including heavy vehicle maps. The driver can also call the client, and then once the driver arrives on site, the app will automatically check the driver into that site, and the driver then has the option to add a photo, a signature, or any comments, and then finish the order. If there's any mandatory requirements, the driver will be notified to not complete the app until these have been completed, including things like the loads and any cash or ID or name of the individual that's selecting completing the order. Loads include things like pallets, trolleys, trays, or any item that can be customized into this field, notifying the driver of how many have been delivered and how many have been picked up, which will then calculate on the back end to keep track of any items. Client signatures and photos are really easy to attach for a driver and make it really simple for the driver to complete this. Items that the driver has access to will be provided via the system, and the driver can then see how many items need to be delivered, with the option to return any item that was not delivered and flag by scanning any items that have been delivered or returned, as well as noting how many items were returned. The driver then has the option to view their run as they complete each job and see what that run looks like. From the system, the scheduler would have full visibility of the runs and the live status updates. Seeing where each vehicle is located and the status of each jobs. If there's any delays, will be flagged immediately in the system. As we can see here, a live environment showing where all the vehicles are located currently on their manifests, ensuring the drivers that are online, how many manifests have been completed, any unassigned orders that need to be assigned to a manifest, as well as completed orders and any delays. The system has the option to make changes in real time if required and view what time orders were completed as a quick view. Selecting the manifest will also show live where the vehicle is and any job the driver is en route to at the moment. By selecting the manifest, the user can then make changes live if required by attaching new orders or seeing what time other orders have been completed. We can also see the driver has left a photo and a comment on these orders and where the driver is located right now. The customer on this order here would receive a tracking link to be able to track the driver approaching, as well as a copy of the proof of delivery that they're about to receive. This time will dynamically update based on the driver's previous jobs and the live information